back again for another round of the International Sim Racing League Super Formula season. It is race 7, contrary to what Raiden's put as the lobby title. At least I'm pretty sure it is race 7, yeah. So we've got races 8, 9 and 10. Believe it or not, they are after race 7. And as you can see, we're at Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop, along with not many drivers. Not many at all. Interest really has deteriorated, it would seem. Nobody seems to be showing up. This does of course mean that they're going to get parties. These parties, points, everyone here is going to get points, and no one's going to finish lower than 9th, which is, well, it'll be the last one, won't it? No, I don't want to switch accounts, I want my channel. The big Robo Racer, right, yes, we're at Tokyo Expressway. Let's have a nice relaxing event here. Tokyo Expressway is Whitman's in the pits, and then he releases, and then we're just gonna do that, I suppose. It's a nice relaxing time for us on a Saturday evening. It's getting cold outside, isn't it? It's pretty cold all of a sudden. Then again, it's winter, you know, tends to be what happens in winter. There we go, the stream is indeed shared to the Discord, so the championship is an interesting one. It physically cannot get any closer. Physically, it can't. Fabuki and Raiden are tied on points at the top, they're both on 100. So yeah, it physically cannot get any closer. No, I'm not racing, don't worry. Zoom zoom. Zoomy zoom zoom zoom. Zoom 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 zoom, the cars go zoom. Maybe looking low on fuel. And Ruti is looking at the top of the timesheet, so it's an interesting predicament that we've of course found ourselves in with Ruti at the top. So what do we have? Ruti at the top. We've got Raiden, who's got Night Donner pretty much inside of him. So we've got Fabuki at the top there, and Night Donner is pretty much inside of Raiden. Ponte is kicking around on his own in the Toyota, his young Toyota on the track. Viti Mom is in P6 at the moment. Hobba Fragnes is in P7. And Yukiman is in P8. So there you go, he's in P8. Walter is Walter's in P8. And Fuki B is in 9th and is not on the track anymore. So yeah, not Luke Mann was in 8th. But now Fubuki, his teammate, is joined Walter in the pits. He's going quickly, Marvin. So there we go then, that is the current results. Oh yeah, so the championship sees Fabuki and Raiden equal on points, both 100 points. Fabuki comes off the back of his 3rd win of the season and is still remaining to be the only repeat winner. We've had 6 races, 4 different winners. Fabuki's won 3, and then we've had Raiden, Hugi and Lorenzi, who isn't racing with us, winning 1 each. Yeah, so Fabuki comes in shortly prepared to go for his 4th victory of the season. Raiden's going for his 2nd, and obviously whoever comes out on top between these two is your championship leader heading into the final 3 races, I guess. Fabuki's currently championship leader on countback. It doesn't really get much closer than that. The team's championship has gotten very close. Stone Age Motorsport, Northmen and Red Bull are all very close to the top of the championship. So it looks like we've got a freeway title fight for the teams at the beginning. A bit of slipstream between Raiden and Night Donner, it would seem. But Raiden, the defending champion, his title, his throne as the Super Formula champion is really looking on the frat. Lockman, who's just getting along. I think his season really could have gone much better. His teammates fighting for the championship. He's a little less so. Tyre wear doesn't seem to be a big thing around here. They don't seem to be much in the way of tyre wear, surprisingly. Apparently the whole track's pretty much flat. There's about 2 braking zones and 1 lift zone, and all the corners are flat. So that's the word for drivers. Tokyo Expressway. It's not a track I'd have thought of putting in the calendar, but it's quite clearly a track that Racer Tay thought of putting in the calendar and then just ditching us through it altogether. After the back of a cracking Spa race, that's for sure. Oh well, here we are. Can't really cut the corner on this one, so corner cutting should not be an issue. Doesn't really. I mean, you can't cut the corners. There are corners. You can't really cut them because, well, there's a great big wall in front of you if you do try into the tunnel. The slipstream. It'd be interesting to see how they choose to go about the slipstream. Yes, it'd be interesting to see how they choose to go out in and about slipstream, slippy stream. If they choose to, because the dirty air is going to affect them around the rest of the lap. They may get the advantage in the first corner, but for the rest of the lap, they're going to struggle, I suppose. So, I mean, in the corners, we just ride on board. With Hunty in his Toyota, you can just see how it's just flat, to be fair. Like, he's not even lifting, but never lift. It's just full red rail up. Can he avoid touching the wall here? Yes, he can. Still manages to keep it flat. Is he foot to the floor flat here? Not quite. There's no downshift there. There was definitely a downshift, an upshift flat around there. Quite high speeds. I mean, he's an air-rated driver, so I guess he knows what he's doing. Well, Fraggins though, in the 40s, had a horrific season. He's only scored points on one occasion, and I mean, with only 9 people, you'd expect him to score points yet again here. And I'm sure that's the target for him. Spawn insects, cold outside. I mean, there you go. Ruti comes into the pits with no fuel tyres. They don't look to be wearing too badly. McDonald's in a couple of laps actually, and it doesn't look like he's pitted, and the tyre wear isn't too bad. So maybe a tyre wear isn't such a concern around this track. That's certainly interesting. Tyre wear might not be a problem on this track. Raiden's just right up there, and there's his teammate, so he's swooping very close. They're pretty much bump dropping midway around, and he's quite close up the front as well. Buki, so that. Buki hasn't really set a lap time yet. He's still in the pits. Like Hunty does. Hello, Robbo. Hello, Matthew Harris. Welcome to the stream. You haven't missed much. Still waiting on qualifying, which shall begin in about 5 minutes, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna have qualifying in a few minutes. I mean, a very small grid with us today, rather unfortunately. Interest in the Super Formula, it just seems to have diminished a little. So we have struggled to pick up the numbers. But nonetheless, here we go, and I'm sure we'll still be in for a pretty good race. I mean, it can't really be worse than Willow Springs. Nothing can be worse than Willow Springs. We answered the question that performance can be boring. Fubuki says his time at long last. And he's up into third at the moment, and he's ahead of his teammate, but Raiden has now bailed out into the pits. Stock check at 18:45, that does give us 5 minutes. The waiting time before the qualifying is to begin. Wittmann G in 5th place there, just a couple of attempts off the back of Wittmann in his bit of practice. Some of these drivers, I think, haven't really touched these cars on this track at all till now. As Wittmann's purple in that sector, this should hopefully be a very interesting race. And I think the fastest will be the bravest. Fortune favours the brave, and it looks like it's going to be a case around a track like this, where it's all about how much speed you carry around these corners, and that's going to be the question. But who will have pole position? Raiden's been looking a good bet for pole most races. Fubuki took in the last races. Wittmann gets a huge slide on there. There's barrels across the track, but they're not exactly going to be barrels of fun if you hit them. So, a little joke there for you. Hunty in 6th place in the Toyota. He's had a so-so season. He's could have been better, I guess, but he has picked up some points on the races he's, well, raced, and they're not last in the team's championship, unlike Wrighton and Hunty. They were last season. Was it Hunty and Wrighton? I think it was. At the very least, Hunty's team was last in the team's championship and in the drivers' championship for a while last season for the final couple of races, but they did pick up some stronger results. But Fraggins, it's been his first season to performing that it really hasn't gone to plan. He's struggled to pick up the points, and well, that's about it. He's struggled to pick up the points. I believe he scored points on one occasion in our topless. You'd expect him to pick up the points though in this one. Only 9 drivers are racing, so he's going to get at least 2 points in the bag as we eagerly anticipate the start of the qualifying session, which is the usual 10-minute qualifying and then tyre wear. Tyres, race, that's the word I was looking for, race. 10-minute qualifying and then a race, but we will first of all have the stuck check, which will then lead into qualifying. As Rooty goes even quicker. Here he comes, zooming around the corners at full speed, at breakneck speeds of 483 miles an hour. The downforce of these cars is, well, apparent. Probably more so on this track than any other as he slams into the barrier there. So here he goes, into the hairpin. Dun dun dun. The final hairpin is probably the key overtaking spot. This is one of, as far as overtaking spots on this track, we've probably realistically got about 2. This straight's going to be horrible for the overtake button because, you know, everyone's going to be using it in the slipstream down the straight. Our hairpin's a good overtaking spot, but I mean, if you can't really get it on the overtake, the next good overtaking spot being to turn 1, but turn 1's going to be a bit of chaos in the first corner. I think due to the nature of it, it's like a 90-degree corner. It's easier to get back and hold it around the outside, to be fair. So getting down the inside of that one won't be the easiest thing to do to secure that move, but then as you race away on the exit, could see some good side-by-side action. It'll be interesting to see if anyone dares make an overtake in the middle part of the lap. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone chooses to try and make an overtake on this part of the lap. Yeah, we've had an exciting title fight this season. People have been able to take a fight to Raiden, and by people I mean Fubuki, who is really strong in these cars. We hope to see the title fight is going to go down the entire season, all the way down to the wire in Fuji, which is obviously what we hope. Speaking of Fuji, the next 3 races after this one will not be, well, the next 3 weeks. They will instead be the first 3 Saturdays of January. We shall have the Nürburgring, Kyoto Driving Park, Yamiwa, and Fuji International Speedway. They'll be in the first 3 weeks of January, so don't expect next week to be a YouTube video or a live stream or whatever, call it what you want. There will not be a live stream on the Super Formula race at the Nürburgring, which is the next race, which for the last 2 seasons has probably provided the most exciting race between Raiden and Wittmann. On both occasions it's been Raiden and Wittmann in the Nürburgring race, between them two fighting for the win, which goes down to the wire on most occasions. We'll see if it does again in the next race, but with more challenges waiting. So here we are then on the grid for the stuck check with Rooty on pole position and Nike on a P2. This isn't obviously the actual grid, so don't take anything of it. This is purely the punch check, so everyone's going to just whack into each other. What else do you expect? It's a stuck check in the ice realm. So yeah, that's pretty much that. That's what's going to happen. I guarantee you someone's going to get sent further into that wall than you thought possible. So we just purely watch Rooty because the camera angle in this race is just not very good as they peer out into the brightness, the sun, and you've got Michael looking to shape up and move. What is providing us this camera? Can't be a cameraman just sprinting out like a drone or something, because it's not attached to a railing or anything. And Kaboom, who's actually no, that's not too bad. As far as the check goes, that's not too bad. There was a little bit of contact, there was a little driving into each other. It's not as bad as the usual stuff is, to be fair. But they're all gonna just bail out of it. Yeah, so they all just are gonna just bail out of it, and that does lead us perfectly onto the start of qualifying. There's no other better way to start qualifying than starting qualifying, and that's what we're doing. As our drivers charge out in the droves onto the track to get ready to go. We've got Kabuki who leads out Hobo, who leads out Raiden on the soft tyres, Walter on the mediums. I mean, generally, throughout the mediums, they're just going to pit the end of the first lap. So we probably expect Kabuki, Walter, and Luckman to Walter pit in, Ruti, no, Whitman, soft, no corner soft, and onto the soft. So that doesn't mean they'll start on the softs, it just means that they're going on the track on the softs, and at the end of qualifying they'll change over. Some of them choose to do it the other way, so that they go out on the tyres and will start on and then change it over. So yeah, that will probably include the likes of Fabuki, Walter. So as we watch Fabuki come through on his outlap right now, it's really interesting not to take too much life out of the tyres on the outlap as Hobo finds us the wall. The walls are going to be quite deadly here. The track will bite, and that's probably what's going to happen, as we can expect to see a bit of a slipstream battle. We've got Walter and Luckman, who are both on the mediums and probably going to pit. Hobo Frank's with a little bit of damage to the left of his car. That is Ruti, who's trying to get past Hobo Frank, who's got a bit of damage to the left of his car. Or is it the right? It depends which angle you're looking at it from. I suppose it's the left, isn't it? Anyway, we've got Raiden, who is now behind Fabuki and charging down the main straight. Down the straight we go. And Fabuki does expectedly pit in, I think. Yeah, it does. Raiden does not pit in, and we shall ride on board with Raiden. As you can see, lights very low, and the steering wheel is very much illuminated there. Speed, fuel, everything on the dash as you need to. At the time, here we go then, charging into the first corner as we do our usual cockpit thing. Into the first corner at this point, trying to think about where's the braking point. It's somewhere here, let's see where is the brake on 1500. Oh, 50, very low on the brakes into 50, and then just accelerates pretty hard, picking up the throttle again. Not quite flat, lift off into turn 2, and now will be interesting. We're just going to leave you with the audio to see if it's flat the whole way around this bit. Yeah, that was looking pretty good for Raiden as he comes through now. Now his final challenge, his final hurdle here is the hairpin. The final hairpin, he breaks between the 100 and the 50 ball, and then tries to how well he's picked up. I'll try not to whack the barrels across the track because it's just going to hinder everyone else. Now he's on the real challenge, is mastering those gear shifts. Want to be perfectly timed to get the perfect run down the straight and across the line, which is somewhere along here, and the time they're all going to have to chase now is a 1:39.5. What does Ruti do as he crosses the line? He is slower, but only just. Old Fraggins bails into a pit. Luckman's on an outlap, Kabuki's on an outlap, and those two look to be slipstreaming. Walter trying to catch a distant toe from them. Vitman GE comes up to the line to set. 1 minute 40.4, and he dropped behind the two Red Bulls. So it looks like the two Northmen are doing a bit of slipstreaming tactics here, as Luckman leading Fabuki, and Fabuki, who is a championship contender, equal with Raiden in points. This is probably an ingenious team tactic to give Fabuki the best chance of beating Raiden. There's been a contact barrier there. Now this will be interesting because the dirty area is very much something that people are complaining about. Some of the drivers are saying they're massively affected by the dirty air. Fabuki is still purple though, so can Fabuki grab a second pole position in a row with the aid of the slipstream from his teammate? They're getting very close now. They don't want to take each other out. Luckman, I mean, it wouldn't be too bad of a shout if they choose to swap round at some point as well. In fact, Luckman's going purple as well as Fabuki, so I think Fabuki might have been hindered a little bit through the middle part of the lap. Be interesting then if we go into the final part of said lap. Donna's up at a P3 at the moment. I think Hunter is the slowest of those that's set a time so far. Fabuki, he almost looks like he's getting to the inside to overtake his teammate there. They're getting very close, and I think they might have made a bit of contact coming out of the hairpin there. I was going to very much slow him down out of the final corner, but here we go. Fabuki is still behind his teammate and getting the slipstream, but what's this going to be for these two? What's the lap times going to be like as Logwan pulls out of the way, and I think they might be trading places here. Who's going to get across the line together simultaneously, and it does pop Fabuki onto pole position. Luckman a little less unfortunate in P4, but they have, as expected, changed places, and it's Luckman's turn to get towed around the lot. So there's some team tactics going on in the Northman camp. Night Donna drops down to P5 now, Hunting to P7, Walter in P8, Nova Fraggins, who hasn't actually set a lap time yet, I don't believe. But there we go, so Fabuki was on pole position, who now leads his teammate on to try and get his teammate up there. The championship is clearly something that's been effective now, and in fact your top 6 drivers are all drivers from the top 3 teams. They're all so close in the championship. You've got Fabuki in the Northman, Raiden in the Red Bull, Fitman in the Stone Age Motorsport. You've got a Red Bull of Ruti, Luckman in the other Northman, and Night Donna the slowest of the top 6, and it's very close indeed at the front. So what can Luckman do? Can Luckman challenge his teammate's time? The 40.7, he's half a second down. How much does he gain from following his teammate? He's actually 2/10 down in his own team on his time here in the middle part of the lap, so he looks to have lost a little bit of time out in that middle part. It's very much a cat and mouse go. It's real risk reward stuff. This is the slipstream that helpful, because all the time you may gain you could easily lose. And in fact, speaking of slipstream, Raiden is now just in front of Fabuki. Now will Raiden allow them to get the slipstream on Fabuki, who's actually still up on his time, and is actually going to get a tow from Raiden, although Raiden looks to back out, not wanting to give his championship rival any further boost. But now Raiden picking up the speed yet again, going into the pits is all 3 of these drivers. So that puts Wittmann now is the next, as Ruti not quite close enough. Like Donna is the next man to do this in P6. Walter, so in fact they all are coming back out on track now. So we got Fabuki, who continues to lead Raiden, who continues to lead Luckman. So this is a qualifying situation that we'll all be very interested in seeing for this one, to see how this affects people and what positions they'll end up in. They want to get each other as high as possible. It's all looking very scrappy though. You don't want to be too close. That's just going to cause problems if you do get too close to each other. Fabuki looking to try and pull away a bit, and in fact Raiden might have caused a bit of a problem here. Fabuki wants to try and get away from Raiden, not to help, try not to help Raiden. But I think any team tactics that the Northmen might employ have just been thrown well out the window, because Raiden's gotten in between them, and it's very close between these two. Just 200th of a second there. Walter 1.1 seconds clear of Hunter, who in turn is 2.5 seconds clear of Hunter, of Hobo. But we're all very much intrigued to see how this is going to develop in the front. So Luckman continuing to chase down Raiden in the slipstream. It's almost like they're practicing for the race, and in fact I think that's Fabuki backing off. Fabuki backing off to the hairpin, and that has allowed Luckman and Raiden to lead away, and I think it might be too late for Raiden to back off. because that's just going to hinder his own time, and they may not get another lap after this. It's going to be very tight for time. So Fabuki's now getting a double slipstream of his teammate, who in turn is slipstream, and Ruti's just come out of nowhere with pole by the slimmest of margins, 0.001. Where did that come from the other Red Bull? Oh, that's very close, 1,000th of a second. Tiny margin indeed, as Fabuki, who chases down Luckman, who chases down Raiden in the slipstream. So all slipstreaming each other then down the main straight into the first corner. That does drop Luckman down into P7 because Walter's got up into 6th place now, and I think Fabuki was actually up on his time. So as we can see, Luckman, who's being chased by Fabuki, his teammate, who's continuing to tow his teammate around the lap, trying to aid them in getting as high up the order as they can to help their team's championship positions. Is Luckman, however, is reaping the benefits, and he's actually up on his time on purple. So it looks like it could be a battle for pole between the two Normans as Ruti, and I think Raiden might clap the barrier there, and that's really affected Luckman's qualifying lap. So now Fabuki's been released ahead to lead his teammate on. I don't think Fabuki was affected by that much, but that's going to annoy Luckman. In fact, he was purple there in that sector. So Fabuki's on for a lap. I mean, he only needs to gain just more than 1,000th of a second, really. It's such a tiny gap between Ruti and Fabuki. It's pretty much non-existent, but it's still there, and by such a small margin as well.
Yeah.
But what has Fabuki got to be able to try and get back ahead of Ruti onto pole position? Raiden, who seems to have backed up a long way, has abandoned the whole idea of substitute. Mike Donna hasn't, and in fact is going around the outside over fraggings for it. But here comes Fabuki in the lead up to the line. In fact, qualifying is over. And does Fabuki grab pole? Yes, he does. Fabuki on pole position. He does beat Ruti, who did improve his time. Raiden comes up to the line now on his final lap, and he doesn't improve. He's behind his teammate, I think, for the first time this season. What can Wittmann do? Wittmann gets onto the front row of the grid. What about Knight Donna? Knight Donna doesn't improve. Walter in P6, he's going very slowly. Here comes Luckman, but his qualifying's over. Hunter the Punty to cross the line for his final lap, and I think it's the only one still on a lap down in P8. Does he improve his time and position? No, he does not. And Robert Fraggins is not on the lap either. So it is Fabuki that gets back-to-back pole positions. Wittmann on the front row, but it is Ruti in P3, and so that is Raiden not even in the top 3 for the start of this race. And what a start to the race we have indeed. It is a very tasty prospect. Fabuki on pole, 2 positions clear of his championship rival Raiden. And in there are Wittmann and Ruti. Walter has caused a little bit of an upset to Luckman, who's qualifying kind of got disrupted. He's going to have to work hard from 7th to get a strong result in this race, and I'm sure he's going to target a strong result. But Wittmann on the front row, only just at a Ruti, half a second clear of Knight Donna, who's actually got 2 tenths clear of Raiden. So it's an all Red Bull second row of the grid. Walt's getting up in a P6, a strong showing from him in qualifying, whereas Hubble Fraggins yet again down to the back. But he is picking up some points this weekend regardless. So another great race for Fabuki. Another great qualifying for Fabuki, but can he make it 2 in a row? No driver this season has won 2 races in a row. Will we get Fabuki to win? Can Fabuki win his 4th race of the season and 2 in a row? Will it be Wittmann to grab his first of the season? In fact, his first in the championship, I do believe. I don't think Wittmann has ever won somehow in this Super Formula Series. What about Ruti? Is he able to get his first win? Raiden looking for his 2nd win of the season, but from 4th it could be an interesting fight for him. He's not at the front this time. Knight Donna has won previously, but he hasn't won this season. And what can Luckman do from 7th? It's all going to be interesting to see who can get where, and I think Raiden, he's on the medium tyres. He knows he's got some work to do if he wants to get Fabuki, because Fabuki knows what he's doing in these cars, and he's quite quick in these cars, this Fabuki, as he's shown this season. And it is another pole position for Fabuki. Wittmann has gone on to the medium tyre then. We're all ready to rumble here for the 7th round of the Super Formula Season 3. It's been a great season with a thrilling title fight, and will it continue into round 8? Well, let's hope so. Here we go, the final Tokyo Expressway, round 7 on the streets of Tokyo. It's for Buki. He's another pole, back-to-back pole positions. Can it be back-to-back victories? Wittmann on the front row, I believe he's not been this high up the grid. This is quite possibly Raden's lowest starting position. His lowest finishing position is 4th, but can he make any positions up on this as we just scan through the grid? We'll look at Wittmann because we get pretty much everyone with that apart from Fubuki. The camera angles is just really awkward. The engine's rev as we're ready to go, and it's lights out and away we go here in Tokyo Expressway. Everyone looks to have gotten away relatively well, not much wheel spin spoke unlike the usuals, but Fubuki leading away, and they're all still in formation, not wanting to break formation in order to get the slipstream. And now as they start to weave across now, how is Wittmann who's dropping back, and suddenly Raden's trying to pull alongside his teammate here, and Raden does try to get down the inside of his teammate into P2, and immediately making impact. Fubuki is dropping back due to the slipstream. We've got Nightdon and Wittmann are in side by side. Raden gets down the inside into turn 1 on his teammate and he immediately makes amends. And what a start from Raden up into P2 from P4, which is exactly what he needed. He now needs to hunt down Fubuki. Ruti is chasing him down and is not willing to let him go easily. Wittmann dropping from 2nd to 4th. He's going to want to go for it. I think that's Luckman getting involved there, dropping behind Hunter. Nightdon are dropping back as well as Watson, who's up in the 5th place. And suddenly Nightdon is all over the back of Luckman, with Hoverfrag is just behind, but I wonder if they're going to be able to get anything as Hoverfrag smashes into the barrier. Ruti in at P3, and it looks like he's shaping up a move. The top 4 all get very close to each other. Now suddenly the top 4 nose to tail. Heading into the corner we go. Raden trying to get down the inside. On for Big, that's not enough. Oh, he's exposed with his teammate on the outside. And Ruti does get into P2. And suddenly Wittmann's now threatening the back of Raden. And in fact we've got Wolver and Hunter here in 5th and 6th. They're all very close to each other. We've got the Red Bulls swapping positions. They are really racing each other. And Ruti goes down the inside to take the lead. That's Walter trying to get down the inside into 2nd. And he has done that. Walter does get ahead into 2nd place now and he's causing an upset. Splitting the 2 title rivals as we charge down the straight. We've got Ruti in the lead. For Buki 2nd, 3rd place is Walter. He's running side by side and exposed without slipstream. Nightdon is on the front from Hunter in the Toyota there. Walter running side by side with Raden. I don't think he expected that to be his first lap in 3rd place as he pushes now trying to find his way into the slipstream. They all look to fall their way into single file. Walter pulls to the inside to possibly take 2nd place from Fubuki. Is it possible that Walter's a contender for a victory here? Dare we say it? I mean, it's the opening lap. We've just gone on to lap 2 and this promises to be a thrilling race. As we've got Walter, Fubuki goes to the inside. They're really running 4 wide into the 1st corner. Raden tries to get around the outside of Fubuki, the 2 title rivals. They are truly racing for it. They know that whoever comes out on top between these 2 leads the championship, and Fubuki holds it. Ruti starts to pull away. And I think that's Wittmann and Walter going side by side with Nightdon as well. And Raden's trying to find his way, not dropping down the field. And all of this is allowing Ruti to start to pull away. We've got Wittmann chasing down Raden. And I don't think I've taken a single breath since the start of this race. But Nightdon gets to the inside. And they're all trying to avoid it in the barrier. Walter's ghosting and suddenly Walter drops from the back there now. And Fubuki's got Raden all over the back of him. And Raden knows he wants to try and get ahead. Will it happen though? Raden tries to get to the inside. That's not quite enough on Fubuki. Continues to hold 2nd but hits the barrier. That's going to kill off all momentum. And now Nightdon has charged his way back up into 4th. And I don't know where to look in this race because suddenly Hunter's chasing him down. And Fubuki's having to defend the inside from Raden. But Raden gets around the outside there. But immediately starts to pull out wide. And Fubuki tries to find the inside line. And now we've got Nightdon in P4 in the slipstream. And we go to do the same thing again in single file. So now it's a Red Bull 1-2 after all this. Ruti leads with a 1.2 second gap over his teammate Raden. Fubuki in 3rd, 4th place Nike, and in 5th place Hunter. 6th is Wittmann trying to chase down Hunter and get ahead of him actually. But now it'll be interesting to see with the championship, with the way that the championship's developed between Raden and Fubuki, will Red Bull try to swap positions round to try and maximise Raden's point haul to make sure that he can get as big a gap to Fubuki as he can in the championship, which is obviously what he wants. As Fubuki, he's about to lose the position at Nightdon down the inside, and Humpty's not holding back into P4 as well as he tries to get past Fubuki there. Fubuki does drop out of the top 3 there and into 4th place Hunty, in 5th place Wittmann, 6th place, 7th place Luckman, and Hunty in the Toyota, he's going for it, and Walter drops out. That's a DNF from Walter, and 5 penalty points will be coming his way. So here we go then, we've got Night Donner, P3, Raiden in P2, but he's being chased down by Night Donner. Ruti looks down incredible pace. The gap has come down though, and it continues to come down, but what a start for this race. It all looks to have calmed down a bit now, but Hunter is not relenting on the back of Fubuki there. So suddenly Luckman is chasing down Wittmann for P6, and that is Hunter not relenting off the back of Fubuki to get into 4th place. As Raiden looks to be under threat from Night Donner, so as Raiden tries to catch up to Ruti, which has actually lost a lot of time, Night Donner is suddenly all over the back of him now with the surge strain. You might as well bet that Night Donner's going to get ahead, because look at how much that gap's coming down now. And so does Night Donner pull to the inside to get past or the outside, even if he's feeling brave. No, he sits in the toe, he knows it's not worth it at the moment. Does set the fastest lap in the process, and Hunty is following a similar procedure, as is Luckman on the back of Wittmann. Night Donner pretty much pushing Raiden up the straight. Is he going to pick his moment to pull to the inside? I think, is he going to at some stage? Surely at some point he's going to choose to do it. No, not quite. Night Donner sits behind Raiden all the way there. But Fubuki is having less luck with Hunty, who's trying to get around the outside there. And Hunty is really proving his worth here and almost managing to get ahead of Fubuki here. The championship leader is Fubuki on count pack. Under the account, Fubuki's won more races. Night Donner though is just following Raiden around here and taking purple sectors as he went. And the tyres seem to be holding out here. The softs on Ruti and Night Donner are really working for them and not really wearing much more than the medium. So have people overestimate the tyre wear here? Because Hunty on the softs is also reaping similar benefits under the fact that the tyres are quicker and are not really wearing the top front runners. How might have just overestimate the rate of wearing these tyres around this track. It doesn't seem too bad at the moment, and that could prove crucial in the race later down the line as Night Donner shapes up a move on Raiden, but he's not quite close enough at the moment. Look how close Night Donner gets to the back of Raiden. Fubuki having to defend from Hunty with Wittmann in P6 and 7th place Luckman, although Frank's in 8th place, a long way down at the moment. So Night Donner still chasing down Raiden. Is he going to get a move done here today? Is it going to happen on this lap heading into the first corner down the main street? He's actually losing time to him there. And Raiden has used a lot more of his overtake on the Croatian, but Hunty has gotten ahead of Fubuki. But for how much longer does Fubuki pull to the inside? Hunty's not afraid to get in the way of the title fight, as he's proving. Does Fubuki choose to get to the inside or the outside to try and get back past? Hunty goes defensive, and Fubuki tries to pull to the outside. Meanwhile, you got Night Donner still chasing down Raiden, who's still chasing down his teammates. It'll be interesting to see what the team relations are like at Red Bull this evening. As we've got Fubuki and Hunty running side by side. Hunty powers around the outside and holds the position. Hunty's delivering an incredible result at the moment and running in 4th place. As Night Donner still on the back of Raiden, still not quite close enough to make the move to get into 2nd and split the Red Bull 1-2 and ruin the day for Red Bull. But how will Red Bull play this? Because suddenly Raiden is now on the back of Ruti. Can Raiden chase down his 2nd win of the season to back up the victory in Willow Springs, I believe, was his only victory back in race 2. It's been 5 races since Raiden last won. Seems rather disappointing, Walter, but here comes Raiden on the back, chasing down his teammate, Night Donner in P3. So yeah, we've got Night Donner chasing down Raiden, chasing down Walter. Hunty running up in 4th place. He's in 5th. He's Fubuki, 6th place. Wittmann, Luckman dropping back a little bit now. But this is a fight for 4th that is developing. And a fight for 1st is also developing as Night Donner starts to close in yet again on Raiden. Is a one-stop possible here today as Hunty bails into the pits after that one, and it's a fuel stop as well, putting in a bit of fuel to make sure I probably get to the end. Usually the tyres only have to make one stop to add one stop for fuel, but the tyres must be changed pretty frequently. As Fubuki versus Wittmann versus Luckman is continuing to develop the form. In fact, that's Wittmann trying to get to the inside of Fubuki, but not quite on this occasion. So not quite on this occasion for Wittmann to get ahead of Fubuki, with Night Donner still on the back of the 2 Red Bulls. He's really pulling his weight here at the start of age 12. to pull out another podium. Knight Donner is delivering some strong podium finishes, but needs victories if he wants to consider the title. There is climbing his way up the championship after missing the opening couple of rounds. He is climbing his way up the championship slowly. It'll be interesting to see if he can fight his way through the Red Bulls and for a victory. So here we go then. Knight Donner is chasing down Raiden and Ruti. In fact, in the background there you can see Fabuki, Luckman and Wittmann are in close together. But how is this battle developing between the Red Bulls? Raiden's nearly used half of his overtake already. He's in the slipstream. Is he about to go for it on his teammate? He might be here on this lap, on lap 7. Is this when the two Red Bulls swap positions? As they rise up out of the tunnel, Wittmann comes into the pit lane now to cover off a potential undercut from Hunter. But now we've got Knight Donner, who's still trying to get close enough to the Red Bulls to really cause chaos here. And here we go, Raiden switches to the inside, pulls the inside slightly, but doesn't choose to make the move there. So Ruti continues to lead this race, and he's delivering a strong race at the moment. And if he can come through to be the 5th different winner of the season, good on him. Knight Donner has now 3rd place, Fabuki's in 4th, leading his teammate Luckman, who moves up in a 5th place ahead of Hunty and Wittmann, who's actually dropped behind over Fraggins, but Wittmann tries to get around the outside, so Wittmann's dropped behind over Fraggins, and crucially Hunter, who is now doing some incredible pace now on these fresh softs that he is just going with. The two Northmen don't really want to get intertangled with each other. Knight Donner still on the back of the Red Bulls and still unable to make anything work of it. So there's Raiden, who is still in 2nd place behind his teammate Ruti. Behind Raiden is Knight Donner, who's not his teammate, but Knight Donner getting ever so close. It's very close now as Raiden tries to accelerate onto the exit, but it's not quite enough for him there. And now there's the two Northmen running together. We've got Raiden and Ruti chasing themselves down the main straight now in the slipstream, following one another yet again. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Is this gonna be enough? It's really close up behind him now, but it's not quite close enough to make the move into turn 1. Well, I mean, he is definitely close enough, but is he gonna do it? That's the question. He looks like he's about to pull off the inside. He really doesn't look like he's going for the win here. He's just pushing his team along. So is there some team tactics going on here? As Knight Donner has dropped 7 tenths back. There appears to be some sort of plan going on here as Harlow pits in from the back of the field. Luckman is being chased down by his teammate Luckman up in a 4th place and actually ahead of his teammate. He's overtaking him despite the fact that Fabuki started on pole. Luckman started in 7th, but Luckman has gotten out ahead of his team, has managed to come out ahead of his team as we approach the halfway mark of this race. Ruti is continuing to lead this race and he's delivering a strong performance. Can he continue to win this race? So I'm sure at some stage he's going to start thinking about the possibility of a victory. I don't think Ruti's ever won in the Super Formula Leagues. This could be his first victory. At the very least it's his first podium this season. I'm pretty sure he's had a podium at another race. I'm not sure if it's... I believe this would be Ruti's first win that he could have here. If he's able to hold off against Raiden and Knight Donner, he knows there's going to be some stiff competition chasing him down at every move. But here comes Knight Donner in P3. He's gotten very close to the back of Raiden, but does Knight Donner choose to go for it? Is there something that they know that we don't know at the moment? As Luckman and Fabuki run wheel to wheel into the hairpin, racing each other, and he's battling. He's allowed Hunty to catch right up. He's got fresher and faster tyres, and Fabuki's really hassled his overtake button. He's into the final quarter. Luckman, who's usually quite aggressive with his overtake usage, is still got over half to go. Do they switch to the inside or the outside? Well, we're about to find out as we head down the main straight. They look for doing this, but look how close Hunter's got. He could jump them both on an undercut. Is Hunter even possibly, dare we say, a threat to the front runners? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, because he's definitely closing in on the two Northern cars. Raiden chases Ruti, who is being chased by Knight Donner. Into this Tokyo Expressway, which has been a truly exceptional race, I must admit. But we've got Some drivers, and it's still not done yet. It's still all to play for. Halfway through this race, the championship can be completely changed in this race. There's a number of championship battles as we run into the second half of this season. I don't know if Discord's having problems. I'm not actually on Discord at the moment, but we'll see. But suddenly is Raiden under threat from Nike Donna? Well, we're about to find out yet again. He's gotten very close, but is Nike Donna going to go for it into the hairpin? He does not. Nike Donna is keeping pace. Oh, there's contact! There's contact between them there. I think Nike Donna did try that. And makes a bit of a what mess of it. And that's allowed Ruti to pull out a bit of a gap there. And now suddenly Nike Donna, who has tried to close up on him, has made a bit of contact with Raiden. And he's made a bit of a mess up of that one. Alan agrees with you, and the top three all do choose to pit in at the exact same time. Do for Buki and Luckman. What is their plan? Are they choosing to come in? Yes, they do. So where does this lead Hunter, who is also coming in, who's making a second stop at the same time? Wittmann, is he going to join them? Is this just the right time to pit? Hello, Alan. Welcome to the stream. You're missing one hell of a race, and who's come out in the lead? It is Raiden that comes out in the lead. Nike Donna, and Wittmann is now taking the lead. So I don't know why Wittmann's undercut everyone and comes out ahead of Raiden. Nike Donna's gone ahead of Ruti, and now suddenly strategy is blowing this race wide open yet again. And there's Wittmann that now leads with Raiden second, third place Nike, fourth place Ruti. And is Ruti going to try and make the move down the inside of Nike into the first corner on the exit of the pits? No, they're not. Well, now suddenly, interestingly, you've got Wittmann on slightly warm sauce and Raiden on soft, and the sauce can last to the end of this race. This is a one-stop race we have in our hands here. Ponte in P7 did choose to pit in yet again. So with Fabuki in P6 and Lockman in P5, we've got Raiden, who's trying to chase down Wittmann, but he's going to have Nike Donna hassling him at every opportunity. Ruti, who was leading for such a long time, looks to have dropped down the aura a fair bit now. Lupagun and Fabuki are squabbling for it, and this isn't really helping Fabuki's championship chances. But here we go then, Wittmann does lead over Raiden. Nike Donna's trying to chase down Raiden. Now it'll be interesting to see if there's team tactics at Stone Age Motorsport to back Nike Donna into Raiden. They're not fighting, Wittmann and Nike Donna not close really in the Drivers' Championship. It's not to say that they're totally out of it. I wouldn't write them out of the championship, but I wouldn't necessarily call them title contenders. The drivers for the teams, they are most certainly up there. I believe they might be the championship leader, or Red Bull, or the Northman. I know it's very close, and like 10 points splits the top three teams in the championship, so this could have a huge effect on that championship battle as Raiden doesn't look to go to the inside of Wittmann. And it's now Nike Donna. Oh, yes, he does. Raiden pulls to the inside, heading into the first corner. But how does this move work? Does he get ahead? Does Raiden get down the inside into turn one? Yes, he does, and Raiden makes the move. And now it's the two Stone Age Motorsport cars. Nike Donna on the mediums, but Wittmann on one softs. Is there going to be some team orders, really, with Nike Donna on fresher tyres? And he's surely going to be quicker than his teammate. Doesn't want to really hold him up there, I'm sure. But there's Wittmann chasing Raiden then into these next couple of cars around here. Wittmann continuing to actually closing the gap a bit there. I think Raiden might have botched that one up a bit, because suddenly Wittmann's gotten very close. He's gotten within 2 tenths. He's within 1.5, and he's about to be within 1 tenth there. He's pushing it round, and Wittmann's not out of this race. And neither is Nike Donna, so it could be a top 3 showdown till the end of this race, and it could be one cracking finale now. As we're going to have Wittmann, who's going to try and close that gap down to Raiden to try and take the lead with Nike Donna behind, and it's very easy for everything to just go completely wrong. But the top 3 are all very close in this race still. But Raiden has just about managed to get the exit there and has managed to pull ahead of Wittmann, but Wittmann, I'm sure, will pull some gap back. In fact, no, he's really not. He's losing out there, interestingly enough, to the back of Raiden, and that has put him on the front from his teammate now, who is all over that. And so is there some team tactics going on as Raiden Raiden continues to hold the lead onto lap 12. So is Raiden going to hold the lead of this race, or will Wittmann be able to take it? Or will Nike manage to grab his first win of the season? Raiden, he's looking in the lead, though, and he's looking pretty good as Hunty makes yet another stop. So that's a very interesting decision on Hunty's part to make another pit stop. With Nike Donner and Raiden then being in first and second. So Nike Donner has gotten ahead of Wittmann, so Wittmann's released his teammate to chase down the race leader, and with immediate effect setting a purple sector, and that gap is already being slashed and torn into little pit. I don't know where I was going with that one, but anyway, we've got Nike Donner chasing down Raiden and has already gotten about half a second back. Nike Donner knows he's a possibility of winning this race. He continues to set a purple sector, lap 12 out of 18, and suddenly we've got Nike Donner versus Raiden. It looks like this is what it's turned out to be. Nike Donner desperate to try and score some points back over Raiden and for Pookie in the championship to try and claw himself into being an outsider for the title. And I wouldn't count him out. Nike Donner goes for it to the inside almost, but Raiden taking a very wide line there into the final corner. And it's a very wide line that looks to have worked for him. Rooting chasing down Wittmann there. So, and with Luckman, who's gone very deep into the hairpin. He's gone so deep, he just pretty much missed the corner. So we've got Nike Donner chasing down, and Wittmann does pit in there. Wittmann pitted in just a lap after Hunty did, so very early on, especially compared to these on Wittmann's making a 2-stop, whereas we've got Raiden and Nike Donner, Lucy on a 1-stop, and Luckman on a 1-stop, Hunty's on a 3-stop. So it looks like the 1-stop's proven quicker here. And so just 3 attempts, he's getting closer and he's getting closer, but only 3 attempts back. And now here we go, he's dropped back for this first corner. So Raiden's got an advantage being on the soft tyres, the Nike Donner's mediums. Now usually you'd think that the softs would just drop off, but they don't seem to be doing that. We've got about 5 laps remaining, and I don't think Nike Donner's prepared to just let this one go idly by. It's a good chance of a victory, which he hasn't had this season. And off the top of my head, I don't even know if Nike Donner's even won a race at all in the Super Formula. So this could be his first, but I won't quote me on that. But Raiden, who is leading, has only had the 1 win, and he looks like he could make this his 2nd win of the season. He's had so many missed opportunities. I'll top us on Bathurst for a 2nd win this season, where he claims off his own accord that he's just thrown it away. Will this be his 2nd victory, or will Nike Donner be here to spoil the party? Well, we're about to find out, because here they come very close yet again as we head very late into this race now. Nike Donner and Raiden, they're still chasing him. Nike Donner this time taking the wider line and through the hairpin, but does it work to his advantage? It looks like it has done, as he gets within half a second now. So he's very close, as you can see. They're really close to each other. In the background for Buki and Luckman, they are squabbling for it for P4 and 5, when Wittmann down in 6th. And Nike Donner has pulled ahead of Raiden here, setting the fastest lap as he goes, but Nike Donner pulls ahead into the lead of the race now. On to lap 14, 5 laps remain. Raiden pulls back to the inside. Nike Donner holds the lead, and they run side by side on the top of the hill. Here we go then, Raiden to the inside, and it looks like he's just about to pull ahead. In fact, that's Nike Donner just dropping behind now. Here we go then, Nike Donner, is he going to hold this around the outside? He tries, but it's not quite enough, and suddenly Raiden holds the lead there on lap 14, but they have gone for it. And it'd be very interesting to speak to these two after the race. But who will win? Place your comments now as to who you reckon is going to come out on top. We've got Nike Donner versus Raiden. Who's going to have this one? Round number 7. And it's proving to be yet another really strong race. Just not too far away from each other. Here we go. Then is this Nike Donner chasing Raiden down still? Yes, it is. And is he going to be quite close enough to win? He's getting very close. Nike Donner showing that as time runs out, he's going to go for it. He's going to make these moves if he needs to. But Raiden looks like he's ready. He's ready for the fight. Raiden's been waiting for this for so long. Alan says Ruti could win this one. Well, I won't count him out. These two getting very close to each other. A big collision could easily ruin it, but I think Nike Donner's ruined it there, getting through the hairpin. He's gone very slow. He's about 4.5 seconds back, but a big collision between the two at the front. Speaking of two battling, we've got Fabuki and Luckman don't hit each other, but they look to be having pretty good fun in 4th and 5th. But Raiden has gained out a bit there over Nike Donner, but Nike Donner is very quick around here, it would seem. He's really proven himself to be a contender, and he's closing in, and he's closing in, and he's closing in. He's getting closer, but he's running out of time. He's got 4 laps to go. between Raiden and Night Donner, and here we go. 8 attempts. Is this going to be close enough? Is he going to get any closer on lap 15? Just 3 laps remain, and Night Donner continues to chase Raiden on the last lap. 39.7, a 40.8. But the previous lap, 39.2 versus a 40.10, 39.5 versus a 39.8. So basically, on recent laps, Night Donner has been lapping quicker than Raiden. He's just been unable to get ahead. And so will we see any dramas, any late race dramas? Will Night Donner get desperate to try and get ahead? It's all well and good getting ahead, but he needs to stay ahead for the remaining laps, and that's going to be the challenge. But as he continues to try and get close, he's now within half a second. Night Donner is looking really quick here in this race. He's got strong race pace and 4 attempts, and he's ever gaining, and it's 3 attempts now as he gets closer, and he gets closer to the back of Raiden. Under braking, not quite enough. Night Donner seems to like to prefer that wider line through the corner to try and get on the power as early as possible. It looks to be working for him there though, because 7 attempts back though, and he's gaining the drop through the hairpin, but he's immediately gained this time back in the slipstream as we head on to lap 16 of 18. 3 laps to go in this race, and we still do not have a clear version of who's going to win. This is a race that's going down to the wire. Raiden moves across the track to go defensive, but Night Donner, he knows that it's very much possible for him to take the lead here, heading into the first corner. Does he pull to the outside? No, he's sitting in the slipstream. I don't think he's feeling that desperate about taking the lead with 3 laps to go. There's Ruti prowling in the distance. Wittmann taking the fastest lap out of nowhere, and certainly Night Donner doesn't get ahead on this occasion, but they're going to follow each other around the lap now. Ruti is dropping back slightly, but it's not all is lost. There's a possibility they could see a collision between our front 2. They're getting closer and closer. It's likely it could happen, and if they do, that does open the door for a Ruti to come through to win. Meanwhile, we've got Fubuki and Luckman, who appear to have opened up a gap between each other, and suddenly Wittmann closing in on Luckman. But with just 3 attempts now, he's getting ever so close. Still, they're so close, but it's just Night Donner just unable to try and get ahead. Or is he not wanting to get ahead? Is he pacing himself for the right opportunity? Because he knows if he does get ahead, Raiden's just going to tuck back into the slipstream. So then, Fubuki, who is actually now his teammate, Luckman, is under threat of Wittmann, who's dropping down into P6. Here we go, is Wittmann going to go for a move on Luckman. Wittmann's teammate's fighting for the win. Wittmann is fighting for 6th, and it does slide to the outside. Is this enough to get around the outside? Luckman goes to the inside and almost pushes him wide, but Wittmann does the cutback, and he gets through in the end and into P5 in the hairpin. Meanwhile, we've got Night Donner still chasing Raiden, penultimate lap, 2 laps remaining, and Raiden continues to lead Night Donner. Are we going to see this on a last lap situation here? How close is Night Donner going to be to taking the win here? Will it be enough, or will he have to wait yet another race before he can grab this victory? He's a very quick driver. He's proven himself to be a quick driver as Night Donner gets shoved, and the door is not available for Night to just walk through. Raiden's not giving this one off easily, but his tyres are taking a significant beating. As far as the overtake usage, Night Donner's got a fair amount compared to Raiden. It's rather confusing as to why they're not really using it all too much down the straight. That's where I'd be using it, unless they're saving it for the final lap. And I think Night Donner's at the barrier there. He has the ball, and that's suddenly allowed Raiden to pull out ahead. And Ruti is closing in rapidly now. Meanwhile, Wittmann, who's chasing down a 38.888 Casino, is Wittmann's fastest lap. Ruti in P3 chasing down Night Donner, who's lost 3 seconds to Raiden, and suddenly Raiden looks to really part the gap, and it looks like it could be another victory this season for Raiden to add to his vast collection of wins. The real question is, will Night Donner hold second against Ruti as we head on to the final lap? Sadly, it looks like our battle for the win has changed into the battle for second between Ruti and Night Donner. Night Donner gets that one horribly wrong, and suddenly Ruti is suddenly a threat for the Red Bull 1-2 on the back of Night Donner. Night Donner's gone from challenging for the win to defending second, and here comes Ruti using his overtake on Night Donner to make the move into second, and it is a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment, heading on to that final lap. And so suddenly Night Donner in the slipstream of Ruti Is he going out? And now McDonough isn't giving up though. He tries to get down the inside. I'm pretty sure he was hoping they'd be overtaking a different Red Bull into turn 1 down into this first corner on this lap. But unfortunately, it's not Raiden, it is Ruti. A mistake seems to have cost McDonough as he tucks out of that one. And it looks like Ruti has secured the move on this occasion. Meanwhile, Luckman is still on the back of Wittmann. So he's not giving up, and Luckman pulls to the inside. It does pull to the inside, and he gets down the inside into the first corner. So it's all undone for Stone Age Motorsport, but McDonough comes around the outside of Ruti and switches to the inside. What a move from McDonough there! As he closes in now, still he's actually gaining up on Raiden, who's just trying to get to the end without any major dramas. McDonough, who's managed to get back ahead of Ruti here. Fubuki is not real, and Wittmann's dropping off as well. But here we go. This is Ruti on the back of McDonough, and now can he do it into the final corner? He's got realistically the final chance. Otherwise, it's going to be a photo finish. It looks like it could be a photo finish as Ruti tries to go around the outside of McDonough into the hairpin. McDonough holds that inside line. Does Ruti do the cutback? Not on this occasion. And it is McDonough looks to hold that second place, and he does keep the second. But now Ruti's going to have to try and find his way past on the straight, and this is going to be very close. It's going to be very tentative. But a winner in Tokyo Expressway for the second time this season. And what a race it was. It is Raiden, but it's very close. McDonough or Ruti is going to grab second. It's McDonough by such a small margin over Ruti. Fubuki in P4, Luckman grabbing P5, so decent point haul for the Northmen. But all in all, Fubuki loses the points out to Raiden in the championship. Wittmann drives on to P6. Humpty looks like he was possibly challenging for podium. Decided to go on to that free stop, and he finished down in P7. A regular finish for Toyotas. And Hober Fraggins in position 8, coming in last, but he is picking up points, so there is that as a bright side. It is Raiden then that ended up 3.5 seconds ahead of McDonough. Raiden picking up his second win of the season. McDonough on the podium again, but Ruti his first podium of the season in P3. But he was leading the race for such a long time. Did he think it was possibly could have won? Well, we're going to ask him. It was almost a Red Bull 1-2. So there we go then. Chat, who was your driver of the day here in Tokyo Expressway? Who would you say one driver of the day? Let us know in the comments. Or chat, I mean, whatever. Just put who you think was driver of the day, basically. There it is, Raiden taking the victory, went up 3 positions, qualified 4th. That didn't stop him. So we shall now do the usual, where we invite the top 3 in for questioning. It's an interrogate. No, I'm sure. It's an interview. Yeah, we're bringing them in. Questioning. So we had not for Pookie, we had Raiden, we had McDonough, and we had Ruti. We shall bring them into the interview room. Alan, you say Raiden is your driver of the day. You did deliver a strong result. And it was a strong drive. So let's save the replay, obviously. But just a quick look over the race results. So there is confirmation it was Raiden that took the victory over McDonough and Ruti. Hello. 4th place for Fubuki, 5th Luckman, 6th Wittmann, 7th Hunty, 8th Harbour. And Wittmann did bring home the fastest lap with that one. I don't know, I don't know if they joined us. I mean, Nike's left the lobby, so...
Yeah, Nike had an issue. He, as he was following me, his TV turned off.
Ah, is that what happened?
That's what happened, yeah. So he's not very happy.
Right.
Understandably.
Oh yeah. What about Ruti? I don't think he's joining us, so we'll just begin with you then. Anyway, yeah, so what was the race like from you then?
Let's never race here ever again.
I don't know, I quite enjoyed it.
Like, when I saw the track suggestions, I thought that Willow Springs would be the worst, but I changed my mind. This was awful.
At least this one provided a good race.
Well, I mean, there's a good race and then there's a messy race, which is exciting because it's messy. But the first few laps were horrific. It's just calamity.
There was cars everywhere. And I mean, Rooty was leading for a good chunk of it. Oh, speaking of which, hello Rooty.
Speaking of the devil.
Hello.
Is this your first podium, Rooty, or?
I don't know, this season I think it might be. Last season I got few podiums, so this is the first one.
First one this season.
This season, so it's
good to see you on the podium at long last.
Yeah, felt so good.
Yeah. Do you know how? Do you out of interest? Do you know how far off second you were?
About the lead, around 4 seconds.
No, second. For second.
Yeah, second. Yeah, under half a tenth.
It was
I think.
0.046.
Yeah.
Between that was the gap between a Red Bull 1-2.
Yeah, well, damn. I got the power and overtake button left, but so does Nike, and it just got a little bit more, slipstream and got away. So, but nice race. I enjoyed it. Good to be back on the podium.
I was just about to what was the race like for you then, just in general? How would you sum up your race?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Come again.
How would you sum up your race then, just overall?
Yeah, it went as I planned it. I started with the soft compound and just go flat out 9 laps and then refueled maximum and drove 9 laps on the medium and flat out all the way. It went quite nice, and the tire wear isn't bad on this track, so it was beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that surprise either of you to see the tyre deck was quite low compared to other races?
Yeah.
This is the first race this season that was primarily a 1-stop.
I was going to say, I think Wittmann did a 2-stop and Hunter did a 3-stop, but everyone else did a 1-stop.
Even with the worn tires, you can go flat out with most of the corners, so beautiful.
Yeah, Redden, this does put you at the top of the championship then, as Fubuki finished. It seemed Fubuki's race didn't go as well as qualifying, but finished in 4th.
I knew it straight away. Those two came out of the pits following each other. Yeah, they're gonna be towing each other. Me and Rooty did it properly. We didn't tow each other.
Yeah.
But Rooty, to be fair, Rooty, you did amazing. That was very upset.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Also, Rooty, do you reckon you could have? Would you have said you were a contender to win that race? I mean, you were leading a good chunk of it.
Yeah, I had a chance, but maybe a couple of mistakes, and I let Raiden come close and under half second, so then it's easily to pass. So, but the win was there, definitely.
So the next race is not next week. The next 3 races could be the first 3 weeks of January, but the next one is the Nürburgring. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, it's going to be tough for me. I don't like that track, so it's going to be tough.
It's one of those tracks that always produces a good race, I think.
Well, it has done last 2 seasons. You've also won it last 2 seasons, Raiden.
Yeah, to be fair, that's a track that I actually quite like, so I do quite well. I mean, I don't think the top round, I don't think we're still technically ahead of Fubuki yet, so we need
We'll see. But yeah, that is your second win of the season, so you now join Fubuki on the list of repeat winners. But yep. Overall, another good race, and thanks for it. And the championship fight continues to be interesting.
Yes.
So we'll see you next time.